Welcome to Real Estate U with Lettiann.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Real Estate U with Lettiann, and we are in season 3 of our podcast series, and today I have Lindsay Phillips. Lindsay, welcome, and thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Awesome. So Lindsay is a second generation, locally owned construction company called L Phillips Construction.
Yes.
I love it. And we're going to talk about all of the services that you provide and the things that you do. So I understand you were a traveling musician.
Yes, I was.
Awesome. Yeah. Is your mom Michelle Phillips?
No.
It's like, did you hang out at the Playboy Mansion?
No.
Yeah, she's got a cool story.
Yeah.
I don't know if you, Mamas and the Papas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit how you went from traveling musician. Did you sing or play guitar? Or what?
I did both.
Okay.
Yeah. I was. I had always worked in construction from a young child. My father owned a construction company, so in the summers I would work for him and that sort of thing. But I was always playing music and singing and traveling even as a young guy. And so got signed to a record label and started touring and doing that kind of thing. And then I was gone a lot. I'd be gone 3 months at a time. And so my first 2 kids that we had, it was I wasn't there a lot. And so we've got 2 more, so there's 4 altogether. And I just decided that I needed to be home more. And so I thought, what am I going to do? What can a musician do other than, And I had always been pretty good at doing the construction thing and that sort of thing. And so that was kind of and it's creative, I do a lot of creative stuff with it. So it transitioned pretty well for me. And it just kind of went from there, kind of exploded. And now I'm busy all the time doing that. So
it sounds like you followed in your father's footsteps. So he was the original L, because you're the second Lindsay Phillips. Followed in his footsteps, and how great that you had the opportunity to learn from him when you were younger and follow him around and then do your own thing and then end up loving it. And and you took over the business, right?
Yeah, he's still rolling and going, but
with you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
So we do quite a bit together, and then sometimes he's on a project and I'm on a project, and it just it's been awesome to work with him.
Oh, that's so cool. There was a lot of father-son things. In fact, later we're having Bill Marcy. So of course Glenn was his father, but I love the family when the family continues on with the generation. So tell us a little bit about it. And again, we're with Lindsay Phillips. He's locally owned and operated construction company. And tell us about the services you provide here in the Kansas City metropolitan area.
Well, we provide a lot of services. It's basically anything from the curb to the ridge shingle on your house, which is the very top, if you don't know what that is. We work in concrete. We work in custom home building, usually only maybe 1 or 2 a year. We do a lot of remodel. Remodel is what I personally like doing the best. I love taking something that just looks like it's going to fall down and just turning it into something. I think that's maybe the creative side in me. What can we do with this? Repurposing things and that sort of thing. And then exteriors. I mean, just everything from beginning to end. Basements, kitchens, baths, that sort of thing.
What do you do the most?
Typically,
or what's your top request? I should probably say.
Man, you know what? It's funny that you ask. It comes in waves. So like it's funny how, and it may be because we're a word of mouth company. So if we've done a house, if we build a house, we get lots of requests for houses, and then all of a sudden it'll be, if you've done a couple bathrooms or a couple kitchens, all of a sudden you're getting all these calls for bathrooms and kitchens, and I think it's because, someone would ask one of our customers, who did your kitchen or who did your bath or who did your basement, and then So it comes in waves. Right now, the thing I've done the most has been remodeling, a full home remodeling, and then a lot of exteriors lately.
A full home remodel, that's got to take a lot of time.
It takes probably, it depends on how large the home is, obviously. The last one we did took us 8 weeks.
For a whole house.
For a whole house.
And you do basement finishes, of course. So I'm hearing
Love basement finishes.
Okay.
Those are fun because it's a blank slate.
Okay.
It can be anything, And, I love when the customer wants a specific, maybe a bar area or a place for their kids to play, or, I love going through that process of working that out, because it's not necessarily something that's on a print, it's something that's in their head, and then you're trying to help them pull that out and make it come to fruition for them, so. I
saw your eyes light up when you were like, it's a blank slate. And I know you're very creative and you like to exercise some great ideas and really dial it in for the homeowner so they get exactly what they want at the right budget, right?
Yeah. That's a big thing. Yes. Staying in the budget. Yeah.
Because we have these grand ideas and then we find out how much they cost and we're like, whoa. And then how does that work? So,
well, I'm very adamant about once I give you a price, that's what it is. That's a very important thing to me. I hear lots of horror stories about.
So let me just correct you so people don't misunderstand. If you're saying your kitchen remodel is $80,000, that doesn't mean he's sticking to the $80,000. What that means is if $80,000 is too much, I'm just making that number up.
Yeah.
They say we have $25,000 to spend, then you go, okay, great, that's good to know. Let's
dial it into that. Let's get as much. Let's get as close as we can to what your vision is, what the compromises are that works for you, that puts you in position to have what you see in your head, come to fruition. But also once we nail down a price for what that is, let's say it's 80 grand is what you want, and we dial it down to 25 to 30 grand or whatever for what it's going to be. It's once we lay that number down, I'm very adamant to not go above that number. You know, it's very important to me. I've had a lot of customers that have had those experiences, and then they get my name, and I think that's the reason we keep customers.
How do you hold true to that probably not with new construction? Because prices change over the 8 months and things.
Those type of things. I think in the contract it's like 90 days or within 6 months. The price is exactly what it's supposed to be, unless there's some sort of craziness like COVID and you can't find cedar. That's what I've been struggling with.
You can't find cedar?
I've been struggling with finding cedar.
I went to get a fillet last week, and they're like, "Oh, we're out of fillets, and there's a shortage of brisket because of COVID." I didn't want to know. It's like I'm serious. That's what they said. So.
Yeah, I've got a project. I got 2 projects coming up that we've just been trying to locate all the different cedar that we need. Yeah.
So you need a underground cedar man.
Yeah. Right. I got a guy.
Black market cedar.
Right.
It sounds bad. That's really out there. I don't know about it.
But I enjoy doing that sort of thing. I love helping people bring their visual what they're wanting to bring it out, to let them see what their vision is, So when I go in and consult with someone for a kitchen or a bath or a basement or something like that, I'm there to serve them. So it's not my ideas. I'm there to maybe lead them in a direction one way or the other, helping them make good decisions. But the most important thing is that, that's where they're going to live. It's not where I'm going to live, So what I have to do is go in and make sure that I'm getting them as close to what they want as I possibly can. And serving them like that, it for me, the best part is when they come down, they're like, oh my God, this is better than I expected, And
you're like the joy creator.
I love that. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. And so is the kitchen and the master bathroom still the the meat of the house for remodels, or what are you seeing?
I think the kitchen is very important. It today is a little different. I think personally, this is my own opinion. I have nothing to back any of this up with. But today, it seems like the kitchen and the master bath are very important. There's no doubt about that. But it's kind of like your clothes. Nowadays, people are wearing clothes from the 70s. They're wearing clothes from the 80s. There's no rhyme or reason to anything, any hairstyle anymore. I was going down the road the other day, stopped at Pier 1 or someplace, with my wife, and somebody walks in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wore that when I was in high school, And so kind of anything goes now. So what I tell the people that I'm consulting is just simply, hey, it's what you like. It's what you want.
I love
what's
that
important
advice.
to you.
I totally
because
love
you're the
that
one going to live
advice.
here. It's totally different if you're buying this house to sell it. Then you're looking at the neighborhood and the color and all those kind of things that are for selling or for whatever, if you're going to turn it or if you're going to rent it out or something like that. But if it's your home, why would I try to talk you into doing something that's
trendy?
What's everybody else is
Right.
doing?
Oh, I can't stand it.
When you're the one who has to live with it. The last thing I want is like, well, it's real trendy, but I don't like it.
Right. It's awful.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, now I have to live here, but we're trendy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always encourage people to pick out the fixtures you want. Well, what if they don't go? Why does it matter? If you love that light fixture, I don't, you know what I mean?
It really is about atmosphere. It's about what makes you comfortable when you're in that space. So if someone likes the grayish and the Johnson County beige and all those kind of things, and they like that warmness, that's fine. But if somebody likes something really stark and cold, well, great, good for you. That's fine too.
A lot of people like color pop.
Yeah.
Like, bring on the blue or bring on the green.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think my job and my desire is to serve them in a way that when I'm done, their vision comes to fruition, not mine.
So do you have crews? Do you use subcontractors?
We do a little bit of both.
Okay.
We have subs that we work with if we need them. I happen to be very lucky. My father, my son, me, my brothers, all of us are in construction business. And my brother-in-law is a heating and air and plumbing. And so we kind of keep it in the family. Almost everything we do, we can do within the family. So it's pretty cool. It is.
That's great. My husband's family as well. When his dad, he's second generation home builder and all of that, and it's really a neat thing. So, what is the craziest thing you've seen? Maybe like uncovered or?
Oh man, I got a great story for that.
Please tell us.
Okay, so my dad calls me right before Christmas this past year. And he's like, hey, we need to go look at this house. I need you to come look for me. And I'm trying to look at how much time it's going to take us to do it. And I usually do all the sheetrocking, the finished stuff and all. So all the finishings and the little pretty things, that kind of falls in my wheelhouse. All the framing and those kind of things falls in his wheelhouse. We can do both. We both can do it. But
you put on the makeup.
Yeah. I'm the musician. I'm the artist. So it kind of always ended up being kind of, so he's like, man, so this lady, she's actually a pretty well-known realtor in town.
Was it me?
No.
So I was saying
You're the most well-known realtor.
Oh.
There you go. But he said this lady, she hired a crew to come in and remodel her house, and $50,000 later, nothing's really done, and they've messed up everything and that kind of thing. So we go in, look at it, we give her a cost, we go in and start tearing it out, and basically a rehab rescue was what it was.
Oh wow!
And so in the ceiling, and in the walls they had put new can lights and some accent lighting and these kind of things. And we couldn't find where some of them worked, some of them didn't, that kind of thing. We took the ceiling out, and come to find out they had just scabbed all these wires together and had used duct tape to wrap them up. We found in the floor a gas line that had just been crimped.
Oh my!
Yes. It's unbelievable. It was a house that was ready to either blow up or burn down.
Oh my gosh.
It was terrible. And it just kept adding up, thing after thing after thing after thing, And but
that's a shame for the homeowner.
It
Oh,
was
awful.
tough. She had been living in her basement for like 8 months because the whole upstairs had been, the main floor and the upstairs had been just trashed forever. So we came in, I think that project started like the second week of February. We came in and just started taking everything apart. And they had sprayed the ceilings they had scraped the popcorn texture off and sprayed knockdown on them, but hadn't cleaned them. So they were peeling because it had come in contact with dust. And then all the crown and the whole house had little flecks all over it. So it took 2 weeks to sand all the trim down. It was a bear. But we got in there and probably done that one. I think we were done with that by February, March, middle of April, May.
You like to solve problems.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite thing.
Realtors are the same thing. We solve problems. That's what we do, because there's essentially 56 hurdles that one needs to get through in a real estate transaction in order to get to closing. So, but I'm sure you had a lot of feel-good moments there when you were remedying those wrongs.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, and again, it's such a shame with the time and money for the homeowner. I don't know how that happens, especially if somebody was in the real estate business. You kind of know who the good go-to people are, and we all know you get what you pay for.
Right, absolutely. So. I really don't know how it all happened, how it turned out.
I'm glad you were
way.
able to fix it.
But what was awesome for me was when she started seeing things come to a finish. We compartmentalized everything, so you get the sheetrock done, or get the electrical and plumbing done, then you get the sheetrock done, then you do this and then that and then the next thing. And once she started seeing steps,
she came out of the basement.
Oh, she was just so ecstatic, so happy. Oh. And I think that was the best part, is that we were able to serve her in that kind of way and do it on a shoestring budget, trying to help get that in at under as low as we could go with it, But that's what we're here for, to help one another.
All
it
of
just
us.
seems to be that's where my skill lies, so that's where I can help. I can't help anybody when it comes to mechanic work or anything like that.
But I'm sure you know someone.
Yeah.
We have about 1 minute left, Lindsay. First of all, I love your shirt.
Thank you.
Can you show the camera, just because it's really cool?
Love dirt.
It's cool.
Isn't that
I love
great?
it. I want one. So thank you so much for being here. Please, if you have any questions for Lindsay, please connect with him. Contact information below, and his phone number likely as well. So is your dad called Lindsay as well?
Yep.
How does someone say Lindsay and you both come running?
Most of the
or how does that
time,
work?
I get called Junior a lot.
Junior.
And then I get Little Lindsay was the name forever.
You probably hate that.
It doesn't bother me.
Oh, okay.
It really,
because you're kind of a big guy.
Yeah, I was always Little Lindsay, and then one day my mom says, "We probably shouldn't call you that. I mean, you're like
a big man,
a big guy." And I was like, "I don't care. I don't care."
So, and I love your tagline: "All the fixins."
All the fixins.
So, Lindsey Phillips, contact him, and he and his company, L Phillips Construction, and he can help you with all the fixins. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. Real Estate You with Lettiann, and if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lettiann and Associates Real Estate Services, and we'll see you next time.